Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scene Breakdown with Chelle and I and Chris Barnett. I will repeat that in a second when people join. Hey, everyone who's joining. Oh, Devin. What's up, Devin? Hey. Wow, look how many of you are on here. So you guys, welcome. Today, me and Chelle and Chris Barnett are breaking down the Bicentennial Man scene, together. Hey, Devin. So we're breaking down that scene, and we're going to just show you how we break down our, like, anytime we get an audition and anytime we get, like, we just want to work. This is how me and Chelle works. When we break down, it's really just a conversation, and you'll see how it goes. There's no formality to this whatsoever. There's no technique in the way, you think of, oh, let's cut this up. We don't do it that way. We do it all inside of a conversation, you're going to see. So it's all like creation and stuff. Thank you, Andrew. So let's get, hi, Maya. Let me get Chris in here, and then let me get Chelle in here. And then we'll start. So give me 2 seconds. We won't be like really, we're not going to be focused on questions at all. We're just going to be, or the chat really, we're just going to be talking. And this is just us live doing a breakdown. And trying to figure out character if you have nothing. So let's see where they are. There. Boom. And let's see. Hey guys, hey everyone, thank you. Emma, Zakivo, Ekaterina, Andrew, and Haley. Thank you guys. Okay, it's waiting for them to join. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing good. So, is she connected yet? Does anybody see her? Is my internet okay? Why did the chat stop moving? Oh. Does anyone see her yet? Is she here? Yes, no? Thank you, Lisa. No? Okay, not yet. All right, is Chris here? Let's get Chris. Maybe Chris is here. Boom. Thank you, Amber. So I haven't seen Bicentennial Man in a very long time. I was a kid when I saw it, like really young. So I barely know the storyline. So those of you that are fans of the Bicentennial Man, you got to just work with us with this, because I'm not going to be doing it like, oh, there's Chelle. Why isn't this working? It's not letting me. Can you turn on your, okay, technical difficulties. We'll figure this out. It says it's waiting. Oh, there you are. I was like, why is it telling me it's waiting?
Yeah, it's so weird. Let me just turn it like that. Okay, cool. Sorry. I saw it. I don't know what was going on. So
you're
anyways.
good. It's not you. It's the app.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So I was just telling the peeps how you and I work. This is like totally not
put on.
No technique in here.
Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. I feel like there isn't any like technique with it.
No, it's just a conversation.
I'm
so excited we're doing this.
Oh my God. I am too. Like, I know that we talked about doing it in, I don't know we did it for like doing the Zoom, but I thought it was a really good idea of yours to do it on live.
Yeah, I think so, because I can save this and makes it easy, and I just right up there. So,
oh yeah.
So I'm waiting for Chris. Hold on, tell me if this if I swipe up and go text him, tell me if you could keep
Listen, how is my skin after the mask?
Or did it keep going?
I paused it. Somebody just said something about my skin with the mask. No. Never, ever will I do that again. Ever. Worst breakout
What happened?
ever. Just worst breakout ever. You guys were so right.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a glow that you're having like on your face. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's because of the ring light.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah, mine, I have the vanity lights in mine, so.
I literally bought a mask because I saw you wearing one. I was like, ooh, I want to get a mask. So I bought one.
Nice. Just don't wear it on overnight.
Oh my God. It said he's here, but this is so weird why it's doing that. Chris, can you like text in the chat a bunch of times so I can just click right on the chat to get you in? I don't know. Maybe it's my internet.
I don't know, because mine has been, yesterday when I was trying to go live with Matt yesterday, mine was being really weird too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It really was. So I don't know.
Well, we're going to figure this out. Maybe he can write, Chris, be right in the chat. Because she wrote in the chat and I just asked her from the chat and it worked. Maybe he's in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In request with him.
Did we figure out if we're doing both or just one?
I think what will happen is, oh, here he is. Okay, let me see. Invite to join. He does the male, and you do the female. So that way and we'll just kind of go. So what we'll do is, oh, there you are. Oh my God, I don't know why it was.
Am I in here? Hello?
Let me turn off this light. I feel like an angel. Hold on. Okay.
What's up?
Okay. Hello. Okay,
There you
cool.
are. Hi.
This is exciting. We're all doing this together.
I know.
Thanks for letting me crash, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. I have not seen this in a very long time.
I was going to say, you've never seen Bicentennial Man?
No, I have. But I was a kid when I saw it. And it was like...
I've never seen it, so this is great.
You've never seen
really
it?
great.
Robin Williams. Come on.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to be breaking it down, at least from the part of Portia. Like, you're going to make it all up. As in, like, how we normally do. Like, if this was an audition, we didn't get anything else. We didn't get any of the script. You'll be basing it off of our imagination.
So we're cold reading for...
Yeah. I mean, this is... Right. And then, Chris, because you know this, obviously you can use your imagination plus what you already know.
Well, I saw it a long time ago. But,
okay, well, then you just use your imagination, too.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
Right. And so what will happen is I'll let you two play the characters just to read it, just so we can hear it out. Obviously, you don't need to act. This is just so we hear it out loud and we're not, like, so who's saying who. So Chris will be Andrew. Chelle will be Portia. I'll do the stuff in between, but there's only a few things in between, so I'll just let you guys really talk. And then after, we'll work, like, I'll ask Chelle a question, and I'll just kind of be guiding it, like how we do if Chelle would have gotten an audition for this or whatever. And then Chelle will speak, and then I might or may not say something based on whatever she says, and then we'll go back and forth between the characters. I think that's the easiest way to do this.
Just do what you guys usually do, I guess.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool too because it looks like there's not a whole lot of did you get this from somewhere or did you type it out yourself?
It was a transcript, so I had to type it from the transcript.
Oh, got it.
So you guys knew whose lines.
Right. What might be really cool and what people might what might be fun is if you don't tell us like what the breakdowns are, like who we are to each other, how old we are, or anything like that, and see if we can actually pick it up from the script. Might be fun.
Right. I don't even know either.
I remember now. Now that I'm reading it, I remember it very well.
I just know by the by what we're reading. Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
So whenever you guys are ready, we'll just go from the top all the way down, and I'll just read the little sidelines.
Oh, so we're just reading it through first? Sure.
Yeah. Don't worry about acting. We're just hearing it out loud.
All right. I remember this place very well. This is where your grandmother was married.
Yeah, I wanted it ready for my own wedding.
So you're not married yet.
No, 2 weeks from Saturday.
I'm not too late. Are you absolutely positive you're doing the right thing
Positive.
about getting married?
I'm never absolutely positive.
So you could be doing the wrong thing.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm doing the right thing.
Great.
Why is that great?
In your apartment, you told me to do the wrong thing. Now, you are not doing the wrong thing. You're doing the right thing.
B.
It's safe to say you're not following your own advice, because if you were, you would definitely not be marrying this man, Charles.
Because I would be doing the right thing.
Precisely.
In some strange way, you're starting to make sense.
Good.
B.
Do you have any idea what it's like to be in love with someone who is about to marry someone else?
B.
Someone totally magnificent, someone who walks into a room and lights it up like the sun. Someone who you know is lying to herself.
Lying.
Convincingly, yeah. Very, very much so.
About what?
That you don't love me, when I know at least in some way you do.
And how do you know that?
Portia, I have done everything inside and out.
But that stuff doesn't matter to me.
Well, something matters, because I'd have to believe if nothing mattered, you'd love me, and not some man whose chin could sink the Titanic.
Portia laughs.
See, it's true, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Does he light you up like this?
She doesn't answer.
Does he make you laugh?
Nobody makes me laugh like this.
Good. Then admit it. Admit you love me.
Okay.
Dude, it all came back when I was reading that. Oh,
yep.
this
Okay.
is such a sad movie.
I know. So, Chelle, what do you think's going on?
I think that she's 100% in love with him, but there's something that this other guy that she's about to marry, there's some type of security there that she's not getting with Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there's something. And she, it doesn't sound like she wants to admit it. She keeps on like beating around the bush. She's like, keeps on going on she's not going to the core of it. So to me that she seems like maybe a little bit scared. She's she seems like she wants security and to play it safe more so than taking a risk. And I think that's what entices her to Andrew, because he seems a little bit opposite of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And Chris, from your side?
Well, Andrew obviously loves Portia, doesn't want her to marry Charles. He knows that Charles is not right for her, and that he is. So she's making a mistake. He's trying. His goal is to stop her from making that mistake.
Right. So, I'm sure, well, Chris, you know this, but for those of you that don't know, Andrew is robot turned human. So he developed humanity. He develops his humanity and consciousness through years, and he wanted to make himself a human. And I think his basic need of wanting to make himself a human was because he loved Portia. I could be wrong with that part, but that's what I think.
So I remember he's a robot, right? Who was built for obediency, and then they found out that he could not only feel emotions, but he could like reciprocate them. So when someone was sad, he would be aware of that, and he would feel bad, and he'd feel guilt. Like when he broke her toy specifically, back when Portia was a child. So Portia was the person in the family. She was the youngest kid, right? And he's a robot, so he doesn't really age. So he's the same age that he's always been. That's why it's a bit weird now that Portia's older, in the film at least. But he developed, these emotions, and they almost returned him, because this movie is such a sad look at, what it means to be a human, I think. It's all about human nature and what makes a human. Our desperate, need for connection. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a toy poodle.
She's very cute. She's very cute. Yeah.
So sorry. Started barking all over the place.
So for you, Chelle, for your character, just to
I'm listening. Yep.
know that Andrew is not a human. So you'd be leaving you'd be leaving a human to be with a robot. And
but that robot was there your whole life, like
right.
from when you were a child.
Right. And that in of itself is a conundrum because he loves you. So it's like, oh, but he's not human. How can he really? So that's there. So let's just go through because what we have is the dialogue, right? So let's just go through the dialogue. He says, I remember this place very well. This is where your grandmother got married. So, Chris.
So I was present for her grandmother's marriage. That's how old I am, which makes this whole concept of loving each other very complex. Like, because it went from like familial and kind of like protecting sort of love, like that of a parent and a child or a family member, to like now some kind of romantic love, it seems, because he doesn't want her to marry Charles. He loves her. So it's a weird kind of evolution, I guess. I don't know. It's a very unique concept when you think about immortality, in a sense that like you watch this person grow up into adulthood and your love for them kind of evolved with it. So it's a weird thing conceptually to grasp. But I mean, it could also, I guess you could argue that, you know, his love for her is like the desire to protect her, like that he had when she was younger, is kind of what he's doing now, but also with some kind of, now he's got the new human nature of desire.
Yes. So why, and this will go to Chelle. Why, Chelle, why are you saying, yeah, I wanted it ready for my own way? Why this place? Why is this place so important to you to get married there? You can get married anywhere. So why are you choosing here?
I think that there's something there where I'm very, I wanted it for my own wedding. I remember this place very well. This is where your grandmother was married. Yeah, I wanted it ready for my own wedding. I think there's something there. There's a homeness, like not even actually the home itself. There's something about like this.
Oh. She froze. Sorry, there was a phone call. Yeah, you're good.
I think that there's something there with the maybe she lost like her parent or something. Because there's like keeps on calling me here. There's like a homeness there.
Okay, so let's just go with so Chris, obviously we're going to talk a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of missing holes, and I'd rather we make it up for the purposes of this. We're not going to break down the entire Bicentennial Man script, so we're just going to make up holes. So yeah, I wanted it ready for my own wedding. So what I would say is let's pick or create a memory to this place, because this place is very, very important to you. And why you were, because you're not getting married right this second. Or are you?
I think that I've lost my grandmother.
Okay.
I think there was something there where I actually like lost her. And so maybe there's something there with like my like there's something about like the walls that make me feel safe around her. So maybe there's
nostalgia.
Maybe there's some type of like sacredness that I feel that if I'm giving my way, I can move on from my life. Maybe.
Do you think you've been there before?
At my grandmother's house?
Is this your grandmother's house? Are we in your grandmother's house?
I remember this place very well. This is where your grandmother was married. Yeah, I wanted it ready for my own.
Because he says, I remember this place very well, which is telling me that he's not been here in a very, very long time.
Right. Exactly. I don't know.
From the dialogue, so you're not married yet. he doesn't know when the wedding is. So it's like
Right.
you guys just reunited after not seeing each other for however long.
Right. That's why I'm trying to figure out is why is Portia there in the first place, and like, have you been there before?
It could be as simple as if this is the, you know, the cathedral or the church where the grandmother got married, that, you know, if you were best friends with your grandmother and now she's gone,
Right.
this is your big day and you want to like honor her kind of thing.
Yeah. That older like cathedral. I think as far as like bringing, like what did you say, Eliana? Why are we here?
Yeah, like why are you there right now? Because you have to have an emotional connection to this place as much as you, and the love needs to be there for that place. And the place is its own character, you know, to make this even more of an important moment. And so I'm asking, like, why are you there? And why is Andrew there? And how did you guys both know that you're there? You know, I get that's the first, that's what I want to, we want to clear, clear, right?
It sounds like, because I don't think Portia really wants to marry Charles. So maybe I brought Andrew there to see like how he reacts in a place that he has been a long time ago, but now with this human essence to him, is there any kind of like spark that could happen between us? Maybe I wanted to see.
Interesting. So basically, you asked him to meet you there, and to find out if this is the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
So like subconsciously, you're asking for either his blessing or his advice, or seeing if he'll stop it, right?
To me, because it sounds like that I want to like see if there's any potential that I could have with Andrew. Maybe I'm not supposed to be with Charles. Maybe I am supposed to be like with Andrew. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reason why I brought him there, like, you know, to see if anything could come from it.
I think that you're there to get Andrew to tell you should not be married.
And then when he does.
And when he does, exactly, then you really get, well, is that what you wanted him to say?
Right.
Or did you want him to say something else? Because that's the point where it's like, it'll switch. It's a switch. It's like, well, did I want that? Like,
careful what you wish for.
Where you're going to get that. Yeah. Okay. So good. So we know you're in a cathedral where your grandmother got married. It's very special for you. You told Andrew to meet you there. Now, Andrew, Chris, why do you say, so you're not married yet? How come you don't know that?
Because we haven't been in each other's lives in years. I used to work for her family. And after the passing of her parents, I think, and all the kids are out of the house, they had no longer had need for like an obedient robot, right? And maybe by this point, you know, as he increases his humanity, what comes with human nature, right? Desire. You want to explore, you want to live, you want to feel, you want to experience life. So maybe I left. I left because I was no longer needed, and I wanted to live as a human. I wanted to explore. I wanted to figure out what life is all about.
So you just haven't seen her because you haven't seen her.
I mean, unless I got fired or I got kicked out.
So
you're great. Hi, Bernard. Okay. So then I'm trying to think of what like a strong, then why didn't you, because my question is like, why didn't you reach out to her? She's been a grown up for a very long time. So why wouldn't you?
We probably separated on bad terms then. And I felt like I shouldn't meddle in her life.
Okay.
So I wanted to let her live her own life until she reached out to me. At which point, obviously, I would jump at the opportunity to go see her again.
Okay. And Chelle, what do you think about that history? Or whatever you think.
I think that there's something like enticing. I think when he decided, I'm not sure exactly. I don't know this movie at all, so I'm not exactly sure like when he like decided like how that came about of him like going from a robot to a human. But I think ever since then, that he was like my best friend since like a small child.
Right.
And then now, like growing up into a woman, and now that he has this like consciousness of being like a human, there's something that I just find so like curious about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like having that, like his like background and me, like of the curiosity of what true love like really is, I think I'm finding, because he has this like almost like this like beginner's mind, like with everything. That's something so lovely when somebody is not tainted by like the world. So I think that it's almost like he's this child in this human man form.
I don't think he's that pure anymore, though.
No.
Because essentially, yeah, because you grew up together, right? And that's when he was, you know, he was developing emotions and you know, reciprocating them, and everyone was like, robots aren't supposed to do that. And by now, I mean, I don't think it's a very pure thing to show up, you know, whether it be summoned or not, to show up when someone you love and care about is about to get married, and then selfishly be like, no, you should be with me. That's not the most pure line of thinking, in my opinion. It seems very human, like selfish, like very naturally human. Like, you don't love that guy.
Right. I think that's something that I find enticing about him, because he has no filter.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's something very lovely about that. That's very, and maybe that's how I live my life. Maybe I'm like this, like, I do everything, I people please, I do everything as everybody tells me. And he's like the only person that stands up to me and is like, no, like, you really don't love him. You love me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
he's baffled by why you're lying to yourself or betraying your own emotions, right?
It's like he doesn't have that, like,
he doesn't understand why would you feel something and say something else.
Yeah.
Maybe the concept of lying to yourself is lost on him.
Yeah, because he has no, like, he almost has like no manners. And there is something, like, I see that in people, like, especially like children, or maybe people that have, like, I don't know what that is. It autism or Asperger? I don't know what that condition is, but there's something there's something so enticing about that type of personality. It's like, I want that. You know what I mean? Where like Charles is like, I'm just going with the flow. It's the mundane of life. There's something about Andrew. It's like, no, like, why don't we go jump off of a cliff and go into the ocean? What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. There's something enticing about that. So, yeah.
He just speaks he speaks his mind. He wears his heart on his sleeve, right?
Right.
So if we, and I don't need to say anything else to that, because I agree with I agree with it, and I just want to deepen it now. So, and for everyone else. So when is the moment, and Chris, you're going to have to make it up. You're right. You're going to make it up in your imagination space, and you'll just explain it to us. When is the moment you knew you loved her? Like the exact moment. What were you doing? What was being said?
Now, this is difficult because he loved her from like when he met her. She was the first one of the family to treat him not just as a tool, but as something that was sentient and had feelings. So right from there, they had this bond. From childhood, like when he was first at the house, he was, you know, kids are cruel. So she had siblings. They were cruel to him. The parents were cruel because he's a tool. And you know, they don't know that he can feel. They don't accept that he has emotions and can feel being used.
So when is the moment, though, that, because there's always a moment.
Well, that's my question to you, though, because it seems to evolve from this bond, the love, the initial love, to now a romantic love.
So the initial love is love in itself, is just pure love of just
it's
loving.
Just a connection, a bond. But then romantic love is different. And
okay, so you knew. So let's just say you knew you loved her as a human being when, let's make up a memory. You were serving them or something. It has to be specific though. So since you've seen it, maybe you know.
I mean, I don't remember much of it, but when her siblings were hazing or torturing the new robot, just messing with it, and she stopped them.
Okay.
I don't think it has to be that complicated. It's just
right. I'm just looking for a moment, so that works. So
yeah,
you were trying to do that, and she stopped him. She's like,
and she acknowledged my feelings.
Right, and she's
which
like,
is
I'm sorry.
Validating my existence.
Oh yeah, so
albeit
maybe
a
it's the
strange
first
one.
time, right? So maybe it's the first time someone's ever told you that they're sorry, you know? So maybe at that moment you're like, oh, I love her, right? So then when was the moment you fell in love with her?
I think when did I move out? When we haven't seen each other in years,
Right.
so I'm assuming perhaps that was because I had developed romantic feelings for you, and your family was not okay with that, and that's what got me kicked out in the first place.
Okay, that works. But when was the moment you knew you were in love with her? Maybe that's better because sometimes we don't know
When you graduated college,
mm-hmm.
and I saw you accept your diploma. For some reason, in my mind, that signified that, I don't know. This is so strange. I know there's no I don't knows, but
Yeah, but
when
that
did I
works.
when did I
Let's
see
go
you
with
as a woman is the thing. Like, when did I see myself as a man instead of a robot? This is getting philosophical.
that. Just go with it. Then Chelle, when did you start? Because you love him. So when do you think you fell in love with him? It could be a general memory, but up until the moment you knew you loved him, that I think will need to be specific.
I think that maybe whenever I found out that however this procedure happened where he went from a robot to a man.
He still is a robot.
Right, but a consciousness. Whatever it is, there's a change from, I guess, like whenever
the growth, like he becomes human, as it were.
Right, okay, then he becomes human. I think that maybe I took him to like a...
Maybe your prom date bailed on you, and I took you to prom because there was no one else.
I think that Portia might be... there's something very deep, I feel like, with her, because Charles, I'm creating in my mind that Charles has like all of these things, but there's something there that does not spark her. And maybe whenever, right before we separated and then we came back into each other's lives, maybe I took him out to like a field and I wanted him to describe what this dandelion looks like. I wanted to tell me how it feels. And I think that maybe that was the first time that there was actual feelings there. And he described it in a way that no other man has ever described it before.
That makes sense, because later on you say he says someone totally magnificent, someone who walks into a room and lights up like the sun. Like, he uses metaphors that regular humans won't think of.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe that's like a thing. It's something that I love, that of the idea of like you're in this field, because I don't think you would be I think you would be someone that would do something,
Yeah, I think that and I think that she's just so much more deep. I think that she's living on this planet and she's surrounded by people that don't really understand her. Mm-hmm. And but asking like just a specific question, just a little question like, what does this dandelion mean to you? Maybe how he described like how there were so many different like things coming out of it, and it's yellow here and it's green here, and some of them are tall and some of them are short, and it makes me feel. And he described like how it made him feel. Like, it's just not about what he looks like. It says, I feel something here on the inside. And then maybe he starts like patting his chest. Like, what is that? What's that feeling? And he takes my hand and he like, and so like,
kind of ignited his humanity together.
I think at that moment that I realized that I admitted to myself that was the missing feeling that I have never had with Charles or any other man before. Mm-hmm. But maybe I haven't like said it out loud to Andrew yet because I'm scared of, one, not being accepted, and two, is he even capable of real love?
So then
Oh, you still have
why?
doubts.
Yeah,
Why?
definitely.
That will lead me to the question, like, why do you leave and not ever say that? Like, you did leave. You left this, or he left, but you missed it. So why did you let him go if you felt that specific feeling? What was there for you?
Can you ask it to me again?
Yeah. So you said you're on this field and you're older now at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he saw life, he sees life in a way you wouldn't, and you've never heard anybody explain life in that way. And just, he's more philosophical than any other human being or deep than any other human being that you met. So why do you choose to let him go? Because you do. He leaves for years.
Maybe it's scary. It's too much.
I think that she also, there's an acceptance of society where she's scared that she will not be accepted. There's a certain type of, caliber of a woman that maybe my parents don't accept. My parents have maybe, they view him as this like robot. He can't be your husband. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's acceptance. Maybe others around me don't accept this way of how I view my love for him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, because if you had parents that were the most, high up people, or they're high class, and they used him as a servant, right? It would go against everything that you innately have inherited, the beliefs that you inherited from your parents,
right? And that goes in the pocket of the people pleasing. And that's why I don't follow through, is because I am living my life, and that I'm living my life for my parents and for Charles. And maybe that's the conflict, as Andrew is like, why are you doing this? Like, you don't really love him. You love me. But I'm living the life for my parents. Okay, so that makes sense.
Right. So then it's crazy. You guys, we've been doing this for I think around 30 minutes, and we're only at line 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're getting deep into this. Oh man.
Look how much. Well, we'll only do this for an hour, but I'm just saying, look how much we are getting from 4 lines, y'all. 4 lines. Mm-hmm. So there's so much. Okay, so then let's continue. So Andrew, you say, so you're not married yet. So yeah, you haven't been around for years, but if you really love her, wouldn't you know when she's getting married?
I mean, I probably kept tabs. I mean, and hence her showing me the tour of the cathedral. I mean, it's pretty easy to infer that she's not married yet. So it's almost like it's a rhetorical question.
Okay. All right. So then that makes sense.
Well, she also says, I wanted it ready for my own wedding. Like, it just sounds like that.
You're not married. So you're saying there's a chance.
Right.
Oh yeah, maybe it's that. Okay.
Right.
And then you're like, I'm not too late. Are you absolutely positive you're doing the right thing? But Andrew, she asked you there. So again, why? Because it looks like you're the kind of person that, like she said, you have no filter. So why didn't you? I'm actually thinking that it's the other way around. He must have asked you to be there.
I asked you to meet because I found out you were getting married.
Right.
Okay.
And hopefully you're not. And I'm thinking that because it just doesn't make sense of how forward he is.
Mm-hmm.
But you agreed.
He's just. It could be that he's just that way.
Right. But
he doesn't. It's the disconnect between people hiding their emotions and him learning about his emotion. I don't know, but it could be the opposite. I mean, that makes more sense to me. If I found out that she was getting married, I was probably keeping tabs on her because I care about her, and I've cared about her since she was like a child.
Right.
So even though we weren't talking, I mean, I still kept tabs.
Right. Which makes sense, because then Chelle would be facing her internal conflict of, she said yes, hoping the fact maybe he does love me and I can be with him, finding. So that makes more sense to this. because like I'm not too late, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Are you? And I know it's just a it could be a rhetorical thing to say, but it also doesn't make sense to say if he didn't try to be there first. So are you absolutely? I'm positive you're doing the right thing.
And I say positive
about getting married.
I'm never absolutely positive.
So you could be doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. So I have a question. Why aren't Andrew, you just coming right out there and saying you love her? Why all this back and forth talk?
Maybe I've learned to be, or to have more tact over the years than the last time we saw each other, where I probably overwhelmed her with when she ignited my humanity. And like, I was like, I love you. Like, that's a lot to hear from, you know, your robot parent / guardian / now love interest. That's a lot to digest, especially when society has different expectations for you, and so do your parents. So perhaps I'm not trying to just come out right away and say it. I'm trying to soften the blow and also feel it out, because I mean, I don't want to lose her again now that I finally have her back in my life. So I don't want to scare her away right away.
Yeah, or maybe you're seeing if she loves him.
Well, I have to gauge, because if I think, no, Andrew's the kind of being that if she truly loved Charles, he would not get in the way of that. Like, if she believed that Charles was the right decision, right, and loved him, then he would, you know, give it his blessing and get out of the way. But
right, so you're trying to see if you which way you're gonna go, right? You're analyzing it.
I'm seeing if she still has any feelings for me, and if she actually loves this guy.
Right.
Because ultimately, I just want what's best for her.
Right. So, Portia, do you know if you're doing? How do you feel about doing the right thing? Are you doing the right thing?
No, I mean, no. If I'm really being deep down, no. I think if I was truly in love with him, I wouldn't even be here with Andrew right now. Right. I wouldn't show Andrew anything. Like, but there's something there for me. So no, I absolutely don't think. And I think that I admitted to save face that I could be doing the wrong thing. I'm never absolutely positive.
Right. Because you need to, I mean, that's why you're there.
Right.
That's why you're there. Always there's that little voice. It is the right thing. Right. Yeah, it's the right thing. But it's not the right thing for you. Yeah.
It's like the voice that won't, like, it will never turn off. I don't think that her like little voice ever turns off, because that's why nothing's ever correct for me or feels good to me, is because I'm always continuously living for other people and not myself.
Right. On paper, it's the perfect thing to do. On paper, Charles is the perfect husband, right?
Right. Yeah. So he says great, and then you ask, like, why is that? Because Andrew, at that moment, you've analyzed it.
Well, I could tell right away. Like, are you sure you're doing the right thing?
Right.
I'm never sure. Then that's it. I know my answer. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. And it's just great. Great. That's because it is. You know, that's just,
great news to me.
Answer. Yeah. And then Portia says, why is that great? So, and look, you're still asking him questions. You're still there. You're still trying to get him to say something, right? Yeah. You're not going to say it.
So real quick, he says, so you could be doing the wrong thing. Okay, so I say, I'm never absolutely positive. Boom, there is like a window of opportunity. So he says, so you could be doing the wrong thing. And then I say, no, I'm pretty sure I'm doing the right thing. So I'm like this very indecisive person. And then Andrew says, great. And I say, why is that great? So obviously I'm looking for more validation. I need someone to validate me. I need him to validate me. Why is that great?
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm like this, like kind of like a little bit of okay, if somebody tells me that I'm doing the right thing, I need that little pat on the head.
Yeah.
So why is that great? I'm looking for him to, like, I'm doing the right thing, right?
Yeah. Because how many times do you think you've asked him for his advice when you were growing up as a kid?
I think a lot.
Yeah.
Because he's still black and white.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you've had this conversation about different things many different times. Of
Oh, yeah.
Well, am I right? Should I do this? And he's like, well, do you want to do it? Well, I don't know if I should do it. Well, you don't have to do it. Well, but then he helps you. He helps guide you. And he's been the only person that's ever been able to do that for you.
Right.
So he says, in your apartment, okay, so this actually seems like they haven't seen each other in a very, because it says, in your apartment, you told me to do the wrong thing. Now you are not doing the wrong thing. You're doing the right thing. So Andrew.
They had an argument in her apartment the last time they saw each other. And what Andrew did was confess his love. And like you told me, humans should do what they love. They should be with who they love. That's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And you told me to do the wrong thing. So then I say, now you're not doing the wrong thing. You're doing the right thing.
Oh, so then it does make sense that she asked you there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because if she sent you away, you left because you loved her. You're like, you asked me to do this, so I am.
But now you're not listening to your own advice.
Right. It's like you asked me to leave, so I left.
Right.
So it does make sense now that we're going through this, that you asked him there.
Right.
So in your apartment, you told me to, so why did you say, you had a chance right there. So what is it about getting married, I guess, made you have him come back? Because when you were in his apartment, Charles was a fling? Was Charles a fiance? What was Charles at that point?
I think that he just checked off all of the boxes. I think that he was the first person that, I think that there is a love for Charles. I just don't think that I'm in love with him. And so I think that he checked off all the boxes. I think he's a very nice man. He treats me well. My parents approve of him. He makes a lot of money. And I think maybe I would tell Andrew these things, and Andrew kept telling me the black and white answers. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want somebody disagreeing with me. I think in my world, when people are unhappy or have a disagreement with me, like I get so flustered. I feel like maybe there's some control issues there. So because Andrew kept saying like, no, like you put this in your journal, you wrote this down, this is black and white. I think it got to be too frustrating to try and also people please him too. So maybe that's the reason why I'm like, you have to get out of my life. I'm with Charles now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Might be something there with that.
And then he says it's safe to say you're not following your own advice.
Yeah. So you're not. So
yeah.
The right thing, you're doing the right thing. I'm assuming at some point she explained that, I probably asked why people don't do what they feel. They don't do what they love. They don't go after the people they love. And you explained that in society, in the real world, there's a right thing and there's a wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do the
right.
Yeah. So, because we only have 10 minutes left, let me just ask you guys this, and we can spend the last 10, 12 minutes figuring out this. What do you need from each other? Like, why are you here? And what do you need from him? I know we kind of answered it, but specifically.
I need her to be happy.
Do you?
Yeah. Like I said, if Charles actually was the person she loved, I'd get out of the way. I would let her be. She'd be happy. As much as it's conflicted, but
okay.
That's what I think. I want her, but I think she needs to be happy.
So if she was happy, what would it give you?
It would give me happiness because I love her.
Yeah. So you would then ultimately have love no matter what, if she was with you or if she wasn't with you.
I think I'm battling with my love for her being, if you love her, let her go, that concept, but also my desire that, has awakened as my humanity has. We're all self-serving to a degree. So yes, I want to be with her. Oh my God. I want to be with her, but if that won't make her happy, then I wouldn't want to be the reason she's not happy.
Well, then that actually makes you a very selfless being.
Yes, a little
Not
bit
a
of both.
selfish one. Maybe you came here, if that's really the case, maybe you came here for her happiness.
That's what I think. I think it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
She was my first connection, my first love, the first person that validated my feelings, my emotions, and my existence. So she's all that matters. Her happiness is all that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. Chelle, what do you think you need from him?
I think I need love. I think I need to really see how he feels about me, truly, like as this human form now. I think I need love from him. Yeah.
And you need him to do...
I need stop the marriage.
Yeah.
Can you ask it to me again, slow?
Yeah, what do you need him to do? By the end of the scene, what are you hoping to achieve? Like, you're going into this. By the end, you're going where? Like you're coming here to hear and say. I mean, in every scene that we're in, we're always going in to hear and say, hear and have the other person do or say something.
Right.
So, by the end of this, what do you want to get? What do you need to get? Where do you need to go?
I think I need to feel his embrace. I think I need to feel his kiss. I need to touch his heart. I need to listen to this feeling that's inside of me, and I need to know if it's a match.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I need that. I need love from him. I need him to hold me and get down to the nitty gritty of it, to the core of it, because obviously I can't do it myself. I can't speak my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It's the genuine human connection, that craving. I think what's more human than that? Nothing, right?
Yeah, there's a sense of like I need to know if he's the right one.
Yeah.
I need to know
he's the right one. I think he's the right one. You just need him to say that he is. Because when he did say it, he said it in your apartment, but you weren't ready to hear it then.
Right.
He says it again too, right?
Yeah. So it's almost like he didn't say it for you.
Mm-mm.
But you're in an entirely different point in your life where you need him to tell you that he's the one again, because this time he says it, you'll leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think there's also like it's also because she says these things here, like in some strange way, you're starting to make sense. I'm lying about what? How do you know that? But that stuff doesn't matter to me. Like, I think I need him to shake, like I need him to almost shake me.
Earthquake.
Like, do what?
Wake up.
Like an earthquake. Like,
yeah, I need him to shake. Yeah, I think I need him to, I feel like I need him to give me my voice. Like I need him to what is that whenever you do when you are waking somebody?
I'm trying to find the word for you. The scene's about love, you guys. And some people are writing here, I think the scene's about power. It's not. This is really about love.
It's all about love.
Obviously about love.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, like if you play power, you're gonna miss the opportunity of.
I don't think the tone fits power at all.
No, it doesn't. I just wanted to clarify that because some people that are in my class that are doing a self tape for this that are going to get feedback, they're saying power, and it's not. I mean,
it could be an interesting choice.
It could be. I just don't think
it fits right. But
right. I just don't think it fits the the intention behind what this is supposed to create.
That gives it a certain malevolence to it that I love, but I don't think, based on everything we've done thus far, it doesn't
Right,
power as any kind of, you know, influence on an objective here. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. So you need him to come into your world and tip you upside down, and put you back up on yourself again, to be like, you need to get out of your own way, because the only person that can do way is you.
And there's something
you need to listen to your heart.
I think I need his permission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's almost like I need him to like open up my door, like, and let my own self come through, because that's what he's also trying to do. He's like, I just want you to, like, what do you want to do? And if that kind of like coincides with what Chris is saying for his own character, it's like I need him to allow me to have a voice, maybe. Yeah, maybe there's something there with that.
There's so many people saying what's happening. We're doing scene breakdown.
Everything inside and out.
We're not doing marriage counseling. Don't worry.
Right.
I've done everything inside and out. But that stuff doesn't matter to me. Something matters.
You are the most evolved human being that there is. So you're more human than any other human that exists inside the world of consciousness. Your consciousness is so far developed.
Well, I'm also so old. I've lived for so long, and I've experienced life for so long now. That stuff doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Well, something matters.
Right.
I believe if nothing mattered, you'd love me.
Right.
Oh, if society didn't matter, you would love me, and not some man whose chin could sink the Titanic.
So we're not. Let's just say let's stop there, because I know we only got 3 minutes left, so we can leave.
It's been an hour already.
Closing, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Eliana and I do this. We go like 2 hours, two and a half.
Yeah, we do.
Because it's just so fun.
Yeah, I love it.
It is fun. When me and Chelle do it, we go for like almost like it takes like 2 hours sometimes to get through the scene.
I have to do this with another actor, or else I'll analyze it all the way to the bottom, and then I'll like question all of my choices thus far and be like, no, I should redo it. I should start. I should reset. I don't know.
I think that's why it's really good doing it with another actor, because you're bouncing ideas, and then it's like, well, what about this? Well, no, not about. Or it's like, yeah, and yeah. And I think that by doing that, at the end of the day, they're just choices. And
I love how your students went right for power. I love that.
Shut.
Yeah, I love that. You're rubbing off on your students.
You know, and it's so crazy, because for everyone else that's watching, we only made it to the second page.
Barely,
yeah.
Barely to the second page.
Yeah.
Guys, there's so much in this script, though. I mean, if you know the movie, then you know how deep of a conceptually how cool it is.
Yeah.
There's so much fun. When are their tapes due?
On oh gosh, what day is my class? Haley, what day is my class? I think Sunday. So
nice.
They send it a tape, and then we watch it back in class, and I'll analyze it. And but I don't do a lot of scene breakdown. Like, we don't do that in my classes, because we're generally just focusing on, you know, what the actor brings. So I think it's so important to do like breakdown like this, just because people don't understand that in 2 lines you can get a world of history in there. Like, sometimes I have people come up to me that have monologues, and they're like, I don't know what's happening, and I'm like,
well, what are you saying when you're saying this? What are you trying to say?
Exactly. There's like so much in like one paragraph. So, I mean, if there's anything else you guys want to add before we finish.
Yeah, I think we should do this more often. I think it's like helpful for, you know, not just, I mean, I love doing this fucking shit. I can do this. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is rated PG. I'm so sorry.
I think you can swear on Instagram, I think.
I love doing this stuff. To me, it's like a playground, but I think it's really beneficial because, like, you know, people, they do. I mean, sometimes I get really intimidated by the words. I mean, this is just like black and white writing that's just on here, and you have to allow your like imagination to create. But I mean, it does take a minute to get that like muscle like working. So I think it would be like a lot of fun if we kept doing this.
Let's keep doing it.
I'm serious.
You and I work twice a week anyway. If we don't have anything else, we could always
jump on a live. Yup. I love it.
Why not? And then people get to learn. You know, I don't know. Should we have one person ask a question before we complete?
Sure. Yeah, and I think
is there anybody that has a particular question about the scene breakdown that we did in what we did?
Hey, Molly.
What is your question? And I will.
You want to say hi to my dog?
Let's see your dog.
Hi, Molly. Say hi,
Oh!
Molly.
Okay. All right.
Good girl. Nope. What?
Let's see who I can. Some people I can only. Okay, hang on. It might not even work. It might not even work because before there was already an issue. Okay, you're the first person that said I do, so I'm just adding you. And we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll just... Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
What is your question?
So when I know you were calling me out because I know you saw my comment about power.
I wasn't calling you out. I wasn't saying anything.
I think that was me, yeah. I called you out, for sure.
I
definitely called her out. I just didn't say her name.
No, I wanted to know why power was not a good choice, because when I was thinking of Portia, I was thinking that she didn't need the power, but I was kind of just thinking about.
Well, you just answered
It's not a bad choice. It's for us, how far we developed thus far, you couldn't insert power there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Okay.
It just doesn't serve the story. I mean, you answered your own question. You just said, I don't need power. You just said
Well, yeah.
Right? So if
Yeah.
you don't need that, yeah, and maybe Chelle, maybe have something to add to that.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, a lot of times, like, I think that, like, when you're, like, breaking down characters, ultimately, not just in this scene particularly, but what does Portia want for her life? I think that she wants to be in love. And so if that is the choice, she's not gonna win that here. She's gonna
right.
I think that's her. I think sometimes that we forget, like, there's also a character and they have a life outside of the scene.
Yes.
And we have to remember that there's this life outside. So overall, like, she wants love.
Right.
You know? True love.
If you were to start the scene thinking about the need as power, would it be able to work? Or no?
Not for this particular
Not for the
script.
Okay.
Why would you? I guess my question is why are you needing?
Well, what
power?
do you want? What kind of power do you want? If you're Portia, what do you need? What's your goal here?
Well, I was thinking the need was power if I was Portia, because she wanted power in the situation and discovering I don't know how to explain it. She wanted power in the control of her Andrew's feelings.
She wants to control Andrew.
When
they're talking about, I have notes, hold on.
You mean
In
when
this
she sent her away or him away?
Like when.
But that was also out of love, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's also out of love. That's not out of power and control.
Yeah,
Society won't allow this. You need to go.
I mean, it is the sense of love and control when you talk about it in the sense of control of like life, but needing the love for, like, love is the basic thing, but that's why they're bouncing off of each other, because she needs, her family is like telling her one thing and then she's doing the other thing, but I mean, it's still a base of love, all of it. I
mean, you could just make her a power hungry, you know.
You could. It's just not the script.
Not the script. Yeah.
Well, it's
I get it. I get it.
It's not the movie. Yeah, it would be that if it was a different movie. But
I'm all for trying to make things dark. I think it's
right.
cool. But I mean,
I don't know,
you got to go big. I mean, it's your self-tape for Eliana's class, and your coach just told you not to do it. So I mean, it's your call.
Right.
So I won't do it.
Let me just tell you something. If you got a script story, and I'm all for doing great, bold choices, but if you got a script and the script said this is a love story about these two people that can't be together, but they want to be together, and then you go playing the power part of it, I'm sorry, I'm not going to even call you back because I'm like, this actor doesn't understand what they're doing.
I get it.
There's a bold choice inside the world of, there's huge bold choices here you can make inside the world of needing love.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know, Chelle, what are you
Yeah,
thinking?
I just wanted to put in something there. I definitely understand it. I could see, Haley, where you're talking about, because it's like she keeps on questioning him. She's like, lying about what? How do you know that? There's a lot of questions here. And I think it's because Portia keeps getting poked by him. So like, there's always this like, there's also this like mask that we like hide behind. And it's like, you know, like whenever you have an insecurity and somebody's poking it, it's like, I just got into an argument with one of my really close people, and I was like, well, what is this? And why is that? And you feel powerful, but really you're trying to cover up the insecurity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So like, so you could play like if you wanted to sprinkle a little bit of power on that, but understand that there's the insecurity that you are about to marry a man that is not Andrew. So it's still out of love. It's the core of it, and underneath all of it is still love, even though you're trying to cover it up with a mask of power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might be a bold choice that you could do. It's like yesterday, like my tears were coming out of my face, and I felt powerful, but it was because I was covering up an insecurity. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's very, very certain situations you need. I mean, everything's out of love. I mean, you can argue till the cows come home.
But love is also power, as the chat is saying.
That's what I was just gonna say. Love is also power, I think. So I think that's why I was getting it confused, because I would think of love as a source of power. So
love's a
I
force
get it.
to a lot of choices. It's a motivation for like everything, right?
Right.
It's either love or the lack of love. It motivates us. But then there is those other moments of like power and control and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, when you said power, my mind instantly went to like power dynamics, like using love as like power over someone because I'm messed up.
Right. But you don't need from him. You don't need him to give you power. You need him to give you love.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what,
Now, in a situation where you're playing a psychotic killer, then okay, you need power and you need control.
Love is
They don't
selfish.
need love from you. You think they need love from you? No.
Right.
But they need power and control. But it's all at a base of it is at the core love, but you wouldn't see that in them. Yeah. This particular character, you would.
Right.
Okay.
That's what makes it heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, bye. Okay, well, you guys, thank you so much. Let's do this again.
That was so great. I really think that this is like very fun. I mean, obviously, like we're going to continue to do our thing, like Eliana, like whenever we get auditions and stuff like that. But it's really fun to do this. Like Chris, I loved it. Like I loved
Dude,
hearing,
I'd love to do more of these, please.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, hearing your perspective on it, it's just so cool to have multiple people, you know, look at things. I mean, that's why you always have your friends help you, you know, your acting friends help you when you have an audition.
Right.
It's so important to have those other perspectives.
Right. And it's cool. Like, it was kind of cool to also like hear what was going on, how other people were saying it, but then it not filtering through. And it's like, no, I really think this is what's going on. You know what for my own character. Because I think as whoever's coaching it, so Eliana, you see this as a whole, but like there's two different kind of characters going on. So it was kind of fun to hear his side of it, and us not like making up something. Well, maybe he's thinking this and just staying in my own lane, you know?
Right. And then it kind of like bounces off the ideas. I mean, this is normally how me and Chelle work. Is like either one person's guiding it, but it kind of ends up going like this.
It does.
Oh, this is one person, but the one person's more invested in the character itself, and the other person's like hovering.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because when we have auditions, like Chris, what you're saying is like we'll go and we'll feel like everything we made up was wrong because we're so invested in it and
It's tunnel vision,
emotionally
really.
invested in it. What?
It's like tunnel vision.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's very hard to see outside of what you're like. You want to do a good job, and all that's there. So you're putting so much pressure on yourself, and you have somebody else come in, help you to guide you, and then you just get this full. See, at the end of this, we just have this full story that doesn't have missing holes. You have memories. You have ideas and thoughts that when you're actually playing, then you're just playing and you're not really worrying about anything else we just talked about.
Dude,
Right, and it
when
creates
you were
like,
getting into it at the end with the what you needed, like, oh my God, I was like, dude, I want someone to say, I want to be on set right now. Like, this is about to be. We could have just. I miss set.
yeah, but I definitely understand what you're saying though, Eliana, because for the audience, I don't think it's sometimes we have to put on two different hats, but sometimes it's hard for the actor to be inside of the character and then also trying to serve the audience. So it's really, to me, it's really elevated my acting to a certain level, because when I'm having you, like if I'm the one that's auditioning and I'm having you kind of like, it's almost kind of like that kid with the leash on, and it's like, I'm going here. Oh, we got to stay on track. But it's like the story is created for the audience, but then there's this full world inside of the character. Because sometimes I can go back and forth, and it's like my mind gets overwhelming, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think I need a leash.
Yeah.
My ADD is like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going crazy.
Right.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, it was so great.
On TikTok.
Yes.
Let's do this again. We'll set it up so we can set this up again. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me crash, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Save this.
Okay, sounds good.